Wow, what an evening to be with you at this time of the night on a Friday. It's a blessing on its own. I just want to give you a little background about my school, St. Paul's Primary School. That school has been existing for 155 years. And that school is situated in Bokap. Most of the learners, 99% of my learners are passed in from the townships. So very few of those who are coming from the community who are attending school. I just want to tell you one thing. When I was introduced to Partners for Possibilities, or when Partners for Possibilities was introduced to myself, I was confused. I must tell you that. I didn't know what was expected of me. I didn't know what I was going to do with these people. But I've just told myself, give it a try. Give it a try. So I've just told myself, okay, it's fine. Let it be. But what I want to tell you of Partners for Possibilities, it's not a joke. It is really making wonders. It is changing all what is impossible to be possible. I'm saying that because I'm the living testimony. Because my school in the first place is a public school in a church building. I've been missing a lot of opportunities because business partners wouldn't love to invest where they are not going to get anything. There was no NPO certificate at all. But ever since I've joined Partners for Possibilities, I've managed to meet this lady with the name of Sandy. We've met, and I was also worried. I wonder, what are we going to say? Because we're coming from different backgrounds. But this lady gave me a shoulder. She gave me a listening ear. Because you know it very well that as principals, as Cedric has mentioned right now, that it's a lonely space to be a principal. But when Sandy is coming to my school, I will always get the listening ear. I will always get the shoulder. What is really happening at my school, the challenges that I'm faced with. And I've met a person who is passionate about the education, a person who can take an extra mile. Because our school doesn't have an NPO certificate, opportunities were just passing my school. But Sandy made it a point that at no stage that I can miss any opportunity. So she tried to make sure that the donation that was supposed to go to another school, Sandy made it a point that donation of the computers was coming to our school. And she made means to organize a certificate, and she acted on behalf of our school. As I'm speaking to you right now, at our school we are going to have a computer classroom because of Sandy. Sandy has tried her level best. She has tried her level best to Sandy to make sure that we get all what we are longing to get. At our school we are having prefects. She is the one who has organized the prefect badges for our learners. And my school is in quintile number 5. And it has been placed in a wrong category or bracket, if I may put it that way. As I'm speaking to you right now, Sandy is upfront to make sure that we are changing that quintile to the quintile that is supposed our school to be at. That on its own, for myself, this is my 10th year being at St. Paul's. I've picked up that problem from day one. And I've tried to bring that to the attention of the Department of Education, but there was no assistance at all. But Sandy is trying now to take the responsibility of making sure that things are going to happen, and we are looking forward to see the changes at our school. Then again, another thing that I will never forget about Business for Partners is to make sure that there's an involvement of the parents to our school. Something that most of the schools are really struggling at. Even myself, I've tried. But if it was not because of them, I wouldn't have been having the involvement of the parents or the activities that I came up with at our school. I'm talking about the fundraisings. Parents are fully involved to the fundraisings. And the 67 minutes of Mandela, we have managed to involve the parents in a manner of coming to clean our school on a spring day. So the parents were there, they have cleaned our school. It was a nice thing to see all the stakeholders being involved, claiming the school, that this is our school, this is our children's school. So that on its own, it made a big difference to me, because I used to feel depressed, sometimes disappointed the parents are not pitching up what is taking place, be it parents meetings, be it fundraising. But ever since business
Partners for Possibility.
Oh yes, came to my life, they have made wonders for me. And I'm very much proud of that. Even if we're having excursions, parents are always there with us. That on its own, it tells us that something is happening. And what I liked mostly about business, Partners for Possibilities, if we're having our meetings, we always share our frustrations, what is taking place to your school and all those things. And we always make sure that all what has been shared, we'll leave it there. We must make sure that we are having confidentiality at all times. And I liked that very much, because I had a problem at my school about the secretary. And you know it very well that the secretary is the engine of the school. So I've managed to meet the lady with the name of Amina. Amina made it clearly that she's going to step into the problem and to help and try to guide the secretary from basic everything. She has tried her level best. And you know it very well that there are times whereby there will be tensions if things are not happening, because you know the Department of Education is working about ticking the boxes time and again, and it needs a person who is up to the game. So Amina helped me a lot to train my secretary. As I'm speaking to you right now, there are no outstanding things that should have been submitted to the department because of the intervention of Amina. Amina, thank you very much for that. Then I also want to thank Uniki. Uniki is a very quiet lady, but she's doing a wonderful job with that soft tone of hers. But she makes it a point that things are happening. And she will come to your school and will make sure that she's having some few minutes to discuss some few things with you. As a result, recently she came to our school with Sandy. They ran a workshop with our staff, and we are still looking forward to have another training for the time to think. That on its own, thank you very much, Nikki, for being so good. And the very same Nikki has also opened doors for myself to do a presentation at Stellenbosch while there were visitors from international. So that has opened doors for our school as well, because I've managed to exchange numbers with the people who were there. Thank you very much, Nikki, for that. I don't know what has happened to our school, because I used to miss a lot of opportunities. But ever since I became a member of Partners for Possibilities, Woolworths has adopted our school as one of its charities. That on its own, those people are going to come to our school, and they are going to organize a furniture for the computer classroom number 2. And they're also going to organize the security for the school. We have brought to their attention that our school is in need of the cameras. That on its own. So I always take my hat off for all Partners for Possibilities. Then again, we are also having another project that has just started at our school, Click Foundation. That project is also working like a bomb at our school. People, I'm proud of Partners for Possibilities. It has really opened doors for our school, and it has also blown my mind to get out of the box to see what is happening out there. That on its own, just by meeting different people from different environments, we can be all principals, but our challenges are different. Our schools are unique, but just by sitting together and sharing our challenges, that on its own, it gives you something better, and it makes you to grow from where you are, to know that I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this battle. There are people who, like Sandy, who are always there to make sure that they support you and they keep the ball rolling at all times. Sandy, thank you very much for what you have done for us. Really, thank you very much. You have really opened doors for us. Thank you I think you deserve a hug.
Okay. Can you hear me? I'm quite loud. Do you need it?
Oh, sorry.
video.
Very good.
Do you want to pop it just on there? Just slides underneath.
It's not going to stay. I'll hold it. So, one of the things that really surprised me when I sat down to write what I wanted to say today, I kind of said, I have learned so much about leadership in this year. And when I joined the program, I very arrogantly thought, I've got lots of leadership experience, I've got lots of business experience. And I'm very fortunate. I was head girl in my school, I was residence house committee, I always ended up in management positions in the jobs that I've had. I was CEO of F&B's internet banking division. I've worked for lots of big corporate companies in South Africa and overseas. And I've had the benefit of going on lots of leadership management development programs. So I've probably been on about 15 easily in my life. So I came into this program thinking, I'm probably not going to learn very much, but that's okay. I'm willing to lend a hand. That's quite cool. Boy, was I wrong. I can't even begin to tell you how much I've learned. On the formal side, we had 3 courses that we attended. And the very first one that we went to, Time to Think, in my head, I always think about it as time to listen. Because what I got from that program is what it means, 1, to really and truly listen to somebody else, and number 2, what it feels like to be listened to. And that was amazing. And then the second program that we went on was the Flawless Consulting one. And I think it was a wake-up call to all of us that to be a good leader, you have to really contract honestly and openly upfront with the people whom you have a relationship. So that was a big learning curve. And then Nikki, the community building course that we did with Rama, it'll take me years to learn the type of community building skills that he brought to fore, because I think I personally need to let go of the need to be the expert in the room and learn to be truly vulnerable to be able to get, even close to doing the kind of leadership development that he does in communities. So the sort of courses that we've attended in the context of PFP are fabulous, and Louise should be really proud of what she's pulled together in the content that she's provided here. But here's the thing. When I was sitting down to prepare this speech, the thought occurred to me that I actually didn't need to go on any of those courses, because I have learned all of those lessons from these people in this room here tonight. And starting from the back, Nikki, you demonstrate time and time again what it is to let yourself be vulnerable, and to lead our community. You do it with such grace and with such empathy. It's really, I learned so much just from being in your presence, so thank you for that. And from each and every one of you in our community of practice meetings, I have really experienced the value of being listened to, and I've learned how much I learn when I just listen. Shut up. Okay, and from Yeye, my beautiful business partner, I want to tell you a story. When I was at school, I still remember learning to spell the word principal. Okay, and there's principal and there's principal. Okay, and principal, as in the one that ends with a PLE, is the one about the right thing, taking a stand. It's about having the sort of moral compass. And the principal is the person in charge, the leader. And we were told, think about the principal as your pal. Okay, then you'll remember principal. Okay, and when I walk into Yeye's school, I can see that those children think of her as the principal. They see her and their face lights up. And it's ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. When she walks down the corridor and these little faces look at her, and some not so little faces either. Some of them are this high. And it's not just that she's their friend. When she walks past, they all stand a little bit straighter, they stand a little bit taller, they've got beautiful manners. There's a huge amount of respect for Yeye. And it's not just the pupils, it's the teachers as well. I can see the same mixture of love and respect for you in the teachers who work with you. Some of these teachers are like the principals here. The work that they do it's a calling. They're not teachers because they're coming to collect the paycheck. They're teachers because they absolutely love what they do. And And then there are some people who are probably there to collect the paycheck and they're not as dedicated. But every single one of those people knows that Yeye is the boss. I mean, this lady has got a core of steel. And yet, I've never heard her raise her voice, ever, in that school, not once. So, Yeye demonstrates for me the style of leadership that I think the politicians around the world would do well to emulate. She leads by example. She's hardworking, honest, and courageous. She's always beautifully groomed and well-mannered. She's prepared, she's consistent, and she's fair. And she never, I've got some of her staff members sitting here, and she never asks, I think you will agree with me, she never asks you to do anything that she couldn't or wouldn't do herself. And so I've learned so much from the time that we have spent together, and I'm so grateful that this journey is definitely not at the end, because I look forward to how much more I can learn from you and what the two of us can accomplish together.